Yeah, my name is Joe Herrera, and I'm with the Michael Chekhov Studio, Orlando. I'm a certified acting teacher of the Chekhov method through the National Michael Chekhov Association. And today I wanted to demonstrate a couple of just simple tools, things that I do on a normal daily basis to keep my instrument fresh and keep my instrument ready to perform. The first thing that I do is actually I try to center myself. I center myself using my ideal artistic center. Chekhov was huge on believing that the ideal artistic center for an actor was not in the groin area nor in the head area, but it was somewhere in the chest. Actually, in the NMCA pedagogy, we teach that it's about 3 inches below your collarbone and 3 inches deep within your chest. And there are various exercises that we can do to cultivate that sense, that awareness that all of your artistic impulses come from that center. So all of the energy emanates from that point of origin. Think of it as that little nut or that little screw that holds the pair of scissors together. That's what the image that I get a lot of times when I'm working with various parts. As you can see, you'll start to see where the arms will no longer be connected to the shoulders. In a sense, it's training the actor to think that all of these joints are pretty much free. He's free from these joints, free from these blocks, these hindrances, so that the arms have a longer extension reaching into the center of the chest, as well as the legs. They no longer start at the pelvic area or the femoral joint, but they actually go further up. It's sort of a grotesque image, but it's an image that helps to free the actor to pretty much convey whatever image, thought, or desire the actor is playing around with. For today's exercises, I chose to work also with the feeling of style, the sense of style. Style was something that was taught to me by the NMCA pedagogy, where style is synonymous with truth. Right? What's true for Shakespeare may not be necessarily true for a police cop drama that we would see on any of the major network channels. So, exploring the sense of style. More importantly, in the sense of style, exploring the sense of why the characters behave in that certain way. Musical theater is a specific style. Clowning is a specific style. The two styles that I chose to work with today was Greek tragedy and clowning. And with Greek tragedy, it's not so much of what it looks like to the spectator or to the audience, but it's more important for the sense that it awakens in the actor, in the artist. What rhythms, what tempos do you sense as an actor, as an artist, that is being awakened inside of you, as in your psychology, as you are moving with this sense of style, right? Because the Chekhov work is all about movement. Everything, it's not just outer movement, but it's inner movement, sensations. What sensations are being awakened because I am doing this particular exercise? And that's the psychophysical duality that most Chekhovian actors are continuously working with. And with clowning, you will see that it's a little bit more on the absurd side. It's a little bit more on the exaggerated side, which is naturally would be so. That would be the case for clowning. And you can veil those things. You can veil those sensibilities to see what does it awaken in you. If I were to codify it from 0 to 10 and take that sense of style of clowning, perhaps it's a rhythm of clowning or tempo of clowning, or perhaps it's a rhythm of Greek tragedy. What does that awaken in me? Does it give me a clue or a hint into the objectives of the character? So that's sense of style. Qualities of movement. Qualities of movement is a great tool for any actor to learn and to practice at home. You don't need necessarily a coach to lead you through these exercises. That's the wonderful beauty of Chekhov. It's that you can learn how to self-direct yourself. Now, obviously, a facilitator or aide or a coach is always advisable, But these exercises are for you to take home and for you to do them at home. So the qualities of movement that I chose for today was the quality of flowing, which is connected with the element of water. And if you'll notice that these movements slur one to another. There's no beginning, middle, or end. They're continuous, and it's so much to the point where you may start to feel like the ebb and flow of the water waves. And what you will see is that as you start to work with these qualities of movement, it's not just affecting your physiology, but your psychology is being affected. And because of your psychology being affected, your voice will start to be affected. And then you can start to apply this and see what is awakened because you're moving in this way. Your thoughts are moving in this way. Your feeling life is moving like water, and you can even change the gradient scales of the water. Maybe it's a little murky, maybe it's a little bit muddy. How does that change the feeling life of the character? How does that change the thought life of the character? What does it tell you about the desires of the character? Right? All these exercises are pointing to that, to finding the inner life, the rhythm and tempos and the inner life of the character. What does the character want? What does it tell you about the desires, the victories of this character because of moving in this way? What does it awaken in you as an artist? So these are psychophysical exercises that really become powerful in expressing the hows of the character. How does the character walk? How does the character think? How does the character talk? You can always apply this element of water to your speech, to your movements, to your gestures, and play in the land of discovery. See what you discover from these things. And that's the quality of movement, flowing. And the last exercise I chose for today is the feeling of beauty. Now this can kind of be a very sort of nebulous, conceptual idea, but not really so for the Chekhov actor. For the Chekhov actor, again, we always start with movement, with the body. What does it feel like to move with a feeling of beauty? Now, beauty is synonymous with value, with appreciation. So it's, in essence, appreciating how you're moving, appreciating looking at a piece of art. Now, it doesn't always have to be something that's beautiful. It can be something that is monotonous or mundane, and the challenge is to find the beauty in that. In this exercise, I chose to do a physical laborious task in moving a somewhat relatively heavy chair and moving that with a sense of ease, but with also, more importantly, with a sense of beauty, and finding the beauty, appreciating that I can move my body in this way using this clunky wooden chair and moving in such a way where I start to feel the sense of beauty. The atmosphere starts to change and it starts to feel light and ease and filled with beauty. And then I take that sense that it awakened in me, that sense of warmth, psychological ease, and ultimately beauty, and infuse that into a speech, into my voice, into a monologue, and see what comes out of it. And these are exercises that I do on a daily basis. I sometimes will switch them around, and I'll go through the various points of the chart of inspired action. And with me I have this chart where we go through the different points of the Chekhov method in order to exercise and become more proficient at it. And the whole concept behind this chart is that with each of these points, it leads you to a state of peak performance, a state of inspired acting. And that's what we want as actors. We want to be able to have that inspired state more frequently. The more you become proficient at each of these, the more frequent that inspired state you can command at will, in a sense. Just one alone, one point of this method is able to get you to that point. But why not master all of them? And so this is what we do every day. We practice and observe and apply these tools on a daily basis so that we can become proficient at the Chekhov method and bring life to these characters, right? We want to enflesh the words of this playwright, of any playwright, and bring those characters to life so that we can speak to the spirit of humanity and speak to the spirit of man and women and holistically bring them to a point of restoration, entertain them as well, and do what we do as artists. So this is Joe Herrera with the Michael Chekhov Studio Orlando. If you have any questions, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also click onto my website, www.michaelchekhovstudioorlando.com. If you are in the Orlando area and are free for any private lessons, please give me a call and let me know. Let me know that you're interested, and we can set up a time, a schedule for you to get started on the Chekhov method. I'm radiating goodwill to you and inspired action your way.